68. Yeah. So what you have to do is all of you need to group yourself into a team of six members, according to your roll numbers. 61 to 66, 67 to the next 6 until C. So from D to the next 6. Okay. I hope you are able to listen to me. So you have to divide yourself into 11 teams according to your roll numbers. And I'll be giving you a scenario. You have to create an ER model for that. And based on the ER model and the assignment questions I have given to you, you will be having a kind of Viva in the maybe last of this month or in the first week of May. Is it clear? So I'll be sending you the scenarios by today end of the day, so that each of the team, I'll just mention the team number for which scenario is given. So you have to create an ER model, complete ER model for that. Maybe discussing online with your teammates. So 61 to 66, 67 to C, D to the next 6. That way you have to divide your teams. Is it okay? All of you? Please respond if at all you are able to understand what I told you now. Yes or no? Okay, I think Jahanavi and Akash both are there. Is Akash here? Yes, Jahanavi is here. Okay, I'll send the list of the scenarios according to your groups. You have to complete the ER model, discussing among yourselves online, complete the scenario using the conceptual design. Then what you're going to do is we'll be having a Viva kind of thing with respect to your assignments and the ER model, what you have created. Okay. I hope that's clear, So the groups should be according to your roll numbers, Okay, Akash and Shanavi, thank you. Is 62 in the class, ma? 62. Roll number 62. 67. 67. Both are not there in the class. 6B. 6B. 6C. 6C. 6E. 6E. Yeah, why? What's your name, ma? 6E? Suchit. Okay. Suchit, why you are irregular to the classes, ma? Can you tell me the reason? You have attended around 3 or 4 classes only. Can you tell me the reason? Suchit, are you able to hear me, ma? COVID. Okay, okay. How are you right now? How are you right now, ma? Fine, but not negative. Okay, okay, okay. Take care, ma. Take care. What about 6K? 6K is here. 6K. Six R. 6R. Yeah, what is the problem with you, Amma? Why you are not attending the classes regularly? Prajwal. now go on with the character data types in your MySQL, or the string types. Okay, we'll be working with the string types. In that, you're going to work with character as well as variable character types. Okay, so both these things are similar, but they only differ in the way they are being stored. So both char and varchar are used to represent string types, but actually they differed in the sense they are stored. Okay, when talking about the character, it is a fixed length variable. It is a fixed length variable. And talking about variable character, the name itself suggests that it is a variable length object. Okay, so that means if I'm working with a character of size X, then that particular string has got exactly X characters in length, including the spaces. So if at all I declare character of 10, then the string would be of the 10 characters. And whenever I'm working with a variable character of size X, then the maximum size would be treated as X over here, since it cuts off the trailing spaces. Since it cuts off the trailing spaces, the length of the string can be up till X characters. So thus it might store shorter than the actual declared length. And whenever you're talking about terms of efficiency, if at all you are trying to store strings of variable length, then you can go with the concept of variable character. And if the string is of the same length with respect to a particular attribute, if the string is of same length, then you can go with a character. Why you can go with a character is because character is slightly faster than the concept of your variable character. So briefing about char and varchar, both are used to represent strings. Char is of fixed length. Variable character is of variable length. Character is a bit faster than your variable character. So this is about your string types. This is about your string types in your MySQL. Okay, now talking about the different kinds of string functions that you actually have or that you are actually going to work with, is the first one is concat, C-O-N-C-A-T. It is used to take one or more strings as inputs and concatenate them into a single string. It is kind of combining one or more strings into a single string. The syntax is concat of string 1, string 2. If at all you can note it down, please try to note it down, ma. Concat of string 1, string 2 is the syntax. I'll just give you a sample example for that. I hope you can see the MySQL editor, ma. Select concat of, I told you, you can work with single argument also. Now the same thing what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to work with 2 strings. So it would be just combining the 2 strings and giving you the output. Or you can say result. So instead of concat of hello, world, it would be displaying result as hello world. I hope it's clear, ma, concat, what it is doing. So whenever you want to combine the composite attributes, then you can use the concept of your concat. So first name, last name, and middle name you take, no? In order to get the name, you can say that select concat of F name, middle name, last name, in order to find the name of a particular student or an employee. That is what you can do with your concat operator. Sorry, concat function. Now the second one is finding the length of a string. finding the length of a string. You're going to work with the length function that allows you to get the number of bytes in characters. So if at all you have 3 characters in a string, the length of the string would be written as 3. If at all you have 10, the length of the string would be written as 10. So string function returns the length of the string. The syntax is length within braces, the name of the string you're going to work with. Example, select length of hello. So it would be giving you 5. In the same place, if at all I'm working with hi, it would be giving me 2. So it is like string length. How you use your strlen function, the length function returns the size of a string in your MySQL. So this is about the next one. Then there's something called as left function, which gives you, there's something called as a left function, which gives you the leftmost characters from the beginning of a string. The left function in a string that returns the left part of a string with a specified length. So the syntax would be left followed by string followed by length. Left str followed by how many characters you want to separate from the left side, or it's nothing but the beginning of the string. Syntax is left of string comma length, where length is your integer value and the string can be any string. So I'm just working with a small example over here. Select left of hello comma 3. So it will give me hel from the beginning 3, and if at all I put 4, it gives me hell. If at all I want to work with 2, I can do that. It gives me the first 2 characters from the given string. I hope it's clear for you, Amma. The left, extracting the left part of the string. You're not going to write any program for this. You're just trying to use the functions, Ma. What you have to do is you have to remember which function does which particular operation. Then you can do it. Now, the next one is right function. It is quite opposite to that of your left function. It extracts a specified number of rightmost characters from a given string. And the syntax is quite similar. Instead of left, you're going to work with something called as right. So you're going to write right, followed by the string, followed by the length. So I have an example over here. Select right of MySQL comma 3. Copying that. So I'll be getting SQL over there. Now the same thing, if at all I go with 2, it will be giving me Q. From the right side, 2 characters. From the right side, 3 characters. That way, the right part is going to work. Next, there's a function called lower. Whenever you are interested in converting the attributes values to lowercase letters, then you can use the lower function. So the lower function accepts a string argument and returns the lowercase version of that particular string. So I can do it this way. Select lower of hello. So I'll be getting the lowercase letters. And instead of lower, you can also use something called as L case, lowercase. Since SQL is case sensitive, you write it as uppercase or lowercase or combination. It does not matter. There I've written lowercase as a combination, you can see. I'll work with select also. Select L case of hello. I'm getting that. or I'll work with this. I'm getting it. So there's no problem with the lowercase or uppercase in your MySQL functions. Okay, so you can use a function called lower, or you can use a function called lcase. Within that, you're going to work with the string or the attribute name so that the required lowercase equivalent of that particular string would be got as an output. Okay, so see, the first syntax is lower of str. You're giving as an input str. Select lower of MySQL, that's fine. And then you have got something called as lcase. Alternatively, you can use the lcase function, which returns the same result. So both lcase and lower work in the same way. That is, they convert the string into lowercase things. Okay, next function is replace function. Ma, are you able to understand, or I'm going a bit fast, Ma? Please respond. Are you able to get it, Ma, with the examples? Okay. Now, replace, Ma. Replace allows you to replace a string with a new string. So whenever you are interested in replacing a particular part of a string with a new string, then you're going to use the concept of your replace function. So the syntax for that is replace the string which you want to replace. str is the string you want to replace. In that, old string to be replaced by new string. Okay, so the string which you want to replace is the first argument. What is the portion of that string you want to replace? That is nothing but the old string and new string. So with what you want to replace the older part. So see, as an example, what I'm trying to do is I was trying to print hello, Ma. I was trying to print hello, but somehow I've written the spelling of hello as HELO. So what I'm trying to do is, what I want to replace is the string hello I want to replace. What portion of that particular string is LO? I'm trying to replace LO by LLO. So what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to correct the spelling of hello, which was written wrongly. So what I'm trying to do over here is try to understand. Select replace of hello is the first string that needs to be replaced, comma, LO, comma, LLO. So see, I'll be getting the exact thing. So instead of LO, I just want to replace HE by HA. What I can do, I can write the same thing again. So instead of HELO, which was originally placed, now I'm getting HALO. Now what I can do, I can do this also. Replace LA by LLOW. I'll say ELA replaced with ALLOW. Hello. What happened? Sorry, there's nothing called ELA over there. So actually there was no string matching over there, ELA, which was wrong. So actually it's ELO. HELO, I'm trying to replace ELO using ALLOW, which becomes hello. So that is what the functionality of your replace function is. Okay, then you have the next function which is called as ltrim. ltrim. So ltrim function takes a string argument and returns a new string with all the leading spaces removed from that particular string. So now what I'm trying to do over here is I'm trying to enter a string with some spaces before the start of the string. So before the start of the string, I'm trying to put some spaces. Now, what is the job of my ltrim is it will trim all the blank spaces that were existing before the string actually starts. I'm trying to execute the same function, ma. One second. See, this is the job of your ltrim. So whatever the leading spaces are there with respect to a string, that would be removed whenever you want to work with ltrim function. I hope you can clearly see that, ma. Select ltrim. Now, if at all you want to give it a name, you can give something over here, result. So instead of ltrim, all that stuff, what will happen? I can give it as a result. Now, what would be the problem would be the way actually the output is coming to me. So if at all I don't use a result over there, what will happen? So here I'm giving a lot more spaces. Okay, now I'm trying to press enter. So what will happen? It would look awkward if at all there are n number of attributes in a particular table. So the range of the screen would be lost and you're not able to read the data properly. In that case, what you can do is you can go with the concept of assigning it some name, result result followed by. So this would be it. So the way the output is being displayed would be better for you to see. So this is the use of your ltrim. And there is one more function which is called as rtrim mama, which removes the spaces after a particular string. So SELE select rtrim is the name of the function. So here I'm writing HELLO hello followed by spaces. So this is the job of your rtrim. It will remove the spaces after that. Result. So this is the way your output is being displayed. So this is the job done by your ltrim and rtrim functions. Job done by your ltrim and rtrim functions. So rtrim function takes a string argument and returns a new string with all the trailing spaces characters removed. All trailing space characters being removed. So select rtrim of MySQL. There's a lot of space. So that way you're going to work with your rtrim. Next, extracting a substring. There's a function called a substring, which extracts a portion of a string. Returns a substring with a given length from a string starting at a specific position. So here it is beginning or end in this particular case. So substring of string comma position is the syntax. Substring is a function which takes the argument string and position. So example, select substring MySQL substring comma 7. So what I have to do? What would be the output of this? Try to see. I did not copy it. See. From the 7th position, the string would be displayed. From the beginning, from the 7th position, the string would be displayed. I've given a clear picture of this one. So usually the string starts with 1 in case of your MySQL. So since I've put a space between MySQL and substring, that space is also counted as a character. So M is 1, Y is 2, S is 3, Q is 4, L is 5, the space is 6, and 7 starts with S. So from 7, you're going to display the substring. So this is from the positive side. And you have a negative side also, wherein you can give a negative value. But actually that we usually don't work with. You're going to only extract string from the positive values. So if the position is negative, the substring function extracts substring from the end of the string. From the end of the string. So here what's happening is, what I'm trying to do is, if at all, instead of +7, I'm trying to put -7. Okay, you're getting B string. Instead of substring over there, you're getting B string over here. What will happen? From where it is doing from -7. Okay, so this way it is going to display, but please don't work with this particular concept. It is just for your understanding. I'm telling you, Amma. The representation would be from -1 to -15 in the reverse order. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. From here it is displaying the string. Okay, so don't work with this. You work with the positive value of the position. Okay, you work with the positive value of the position so that you don't get confused. But just for your understanding, I'm just telling you that you also have a negative value for the position attribute. Sorry, position argument. Now next, there's an upper function which converts the given string into uppercase letter, which converts a given string into uppercase letters. Okay, so you can use the function called upper, or you can use something which is called as ucase. So select upper of, I'm writing Keshav. So I'll get the uppercase, and the same thing you can go with ucase. As you have used the concept of L case, you can go with the concept of your ucase. Both will give you the same result. And there is something which is called as a like operator. So whenever you want to work with strings, comparison, all that kind of thing, you want to extract a string which starts with a particular character which has a particular length, you're going to use the concept of like operator. About like, I'll be telling you in the next 2 minutes, Amma. Before that, you just go through the different kinds of functions that are existing. Just go through the PPT for 2 minutes. You have any questions, you can ask me. Amma, if at all you want to make a note of the functions, you can just note it down, Ma. So that you just try to remember when you're working with the queries in the test later. Yes, Ma, any questions? Ma, if at all you're working with an attribute, Ma, and if at all the same part is there, so usually the same part will not be there, I think 61. So based on the condition only, it would be coming. Here I explicitly worked with a string, Ma, taking a string. So if at all you're working with respect to the attribute, there it would work with respect to the attribute. Is that clear? 61. 561. I didn't get you, Ma. Is we replace I in timing string? I didn't get the question, Ma. Can you be a bit clear, 61? I with what you're trying to do? Statement. Is it okay? 61, fine. Okay. Anyone else has a question, ma? In all the string functions, whatever we have seen as of now? Yes, any problems, or shall I continue with the next ma, like operator? Please respond if at all you're in the class. Okay, ma. Next, we'll go with the concept of your like operator, ma. See, the like operator is used in a where clause. So you're working with a like operator whenever you are using the where clause to search for a specified pattern in a particular column. So whenever you are interested in finding a specific pattern with respect to a string in a particular attribute of a table, then you are going to work with the concept of your like operator. So see here the syntax, ma. Select column 1, comma column 2 from table, whatever the name of the table is, where a particular column like particular column pattern. So where the condition is a column has got a specific pattern. A column has got a specific pattern. Here you are going to work explicitly with two symbols, ma. One is percentile, the other one is underscore. Okay. So like, along with like, you are working with two symbols. One is percentile, the other one is an underscore. Both the things together or individually you can work with based on the situation. Now, we'll go with where you can use the concept of your like operator. See, like operator. So select something from a customer, that is the constant query amount. In all the cases, whatever I have written over here, and that would be followed by where customer name like a percentile. So where customer name like a percentile. This means that I will display the details of all the customers whose name starts with A. So if at all I'm interested in displaying the names of the customers whose names I've got some data in my tables, I'll just show you with an example. Show databases. Oh, there are no tables. Select start from 1. Okay, I've got tables over here. Select star from. Okay, CMO. I've got three fields over here: EID, ename, address. Ename and address are both string attributes. So I want to display the details of employees whose name starts with S. I want to display the details of employees whose name starts with S. Select star from employee where ename like S percentile. See, so I'm getting an output whose name starts with letter S. Now, if at all I want the same query whose name starts with R, I'll be getting only one table as output. So this is the first case of your like operator, beginning with a particular letter whenever you want to work with. Now, if at all you want to work with the names of the customers whose name ends with particular character, so instead of A percentile, you're going to work with something called as percentile A. Now, the same query, I want to say that I want to find the names of the persons whose name ends with I. So I'm writing this query. So there are two names, Ravi and Somi. Both names ends with a character I. For that particular reason, select star from employee where ename like percentile I. Now I can directly give the name also, not an issue, Ravi. I'll get it. So this can be used for kind of your string comparison. So what we usually do for this in normal sense is where ename is equal to, this is what we usually do. But actually, this is the right way of doing with respect to strings. This is the right way of doing with respect to strings. Okay. Now, the third one. So, if at all you want to display customer information whose name has some specific characters within it, in between the string, then you're going with percentile, some character, percentile. Percentile, some character, percentile. So I've got V, I've got ma. I'll try for V. Percentile. See, I'm getting Ravi. So in between the beginning and the ending, if at all I've got a particular character, then I can say that I can use this particular concept. I will put A also. I'll be getting Ravi and Sham because Ravi has A in it, Sham has A in it. So if at all in between a particular string, you want to work with a specific character, then you can say that you can use that particular thing. Now, if at all I put AV, I get only Ravi because Sham has A, but it does not have the combination of A and V. So this is the working of your like operator. Now, see, underscore R percentile finds any values that have R in the second position of the string. So here underscore is taken for space mark where customer name like underscore R. So this particular query will look for the rows which has R as the second value of the name. So here what I'll do, I'll look for A as the second character. A as the second character I'll look for. underscore A percentile. See, I've got Ravi. I've got only Ravi. Because A as a second character, I've got only Ravi. So next, if at all I want to look for third character, what I can do is underscore A. I'll get Sham. Because in Sham, the third character is A. Now, if at all I want M, so I'll take one more underscore M. I'll get Sham. So this way, I'm going to work with at a specific position in a given string. I want a specific character, then I can use like in this way. Next, where customer name like A underscore finds any values that start with A and are at least 2 characters in length. So I'm interested in finding out the details of the customers whose name starts with A and it is at least 2 characters in length. It is at least 2 characters in length. So what I'll do is I've got something called as starting with R and 2 characters in length. So there is something called Ravi. The length of Ravi is 4, but I'm interested in only 2 characters. Now I'll write the same query using 3 characters. Not getting an output because Ravi is 4. Now what I'll do, I'll modify this to 4 characters. I'll get Ravi. Is it clear, ma? Okay. So this way you're going to work with specific things in like. I've already written this. Now, here, if at all you are interested in finding out the details of customers whose values starts with a particular character and ends with a particular character, then you're going to use this particular syntax. Okay, what I'll do is select star from employee where ename like R percentile I. Sorry. I'll get Ravi. Now instead of I, if at all I use something called as O, I'll get an empty set because there's something which is usually starting with R, but it is not ending with O. That is the reason you're not able to display. Am I any problems in like, ma? So this is about like. So just go through it once, ma. I'll put the PPT for you for 2 minutes. Just go through it. If at all you have MySQL loaded with you, you can just try it out for 2 minutes, ma. Ma, any problems, ma? Yes, any problem you have with like operator? Okay, ma. Next is SQL date types. So whenever you want to work with inserting dates into a particular table, whenever you want to work with inserting dates into a particular table, then you can work with date as the data type. So you can work with date as a data type. See, create table T3 with SID integer, comma, date of birth, date. You can work like this. Describe T3. So see, now the first field SID, the type of the data is integer, default size is 11. Now, whenever I'm talking about date of birth, usually what we do is we try to take integer, but that is not the right way of representing a date. That is not the right way of representing the date. So what we do is we take the date data type. Now, how you are going to insert values into date would be you have to follow this format, YYYY So you have to follow this while you are inserting a value. Okay. So see, insert into T3 values 101, comma. You have to work with date in single quotations. 1999 followed by 11. So query okay, one row affected. Now select star from T3. So see, 1999 is the year. Now followed by is 11, followed by DD is 11. Now, if at all I'm trying to insert a value which is more than the year value, it is the problem with respect to domain. So domain constant throws an error. Incorrect date value 1999 16 for column DOB at row 1. So since there are only 12 months, that is the problem. So if at all I make this to 10, it would be giving me inserted. Now here, if at all I say 55, again it gives me an error because the maximum value that can be taken over there is 31. That is the reason it is giving me an error. Select day of what is happening over here is, what is, if at all you are explicitly interested in finding out the day, then you can use a function called as day. So that gives you the day of the month for a particular value entered. Now, if at all you want to know what was that weekday, so what you can do is you can modify this with day name. Day name. Now you will get that as Thursday. Now, if at all you want to check whether that is right or wrong, what I'll do is I'll write it as 12 over here. So it should give me a Friday. It is giving me a Friday. Okay, so you have got date functions. You can find out the date difference between 2 days, 2 dates, all that stuff is there in your MySQL. So as of now, how you are going to represent or how you are going to work with date data types. So these are the different formats you have. You can work in the same way. So first is date. The second one is date time. If at all you are interested in having date as well as time, you can go with date time. You can go with year. So timestamp is also there, wherein you have YYYY, MMDD, followed by hours, minutes, and seconds, which is similar to your date time. Okay. So mostly you'll be working with date and you'll be working with year. So these are the two things which you need to put into your time, put into your brains, and you have to know each and every date data type and what are the different functions that are existing. Okay. So this is about some of the data types that you are going to work with in your MySQL. You have any questions? You can raise your questions, Ma. Year format is YYYY, Amma. Rohit. You can take 99 also sometimes, but usually go with all the 4 characters. 2021. That way you go. See, it's taking as 4. Rohit, can you see, Amma? I've created a table with the year data type. Anything else, Ma? Any other questions you have? See, Amma, this way. Create table T5, SID integer, DOB, date, time. The data type would be date time over here. $68, is it okay, Amma? Rule number 68. No, both are similar, Ma. That is the reason I told you work with date time. So it is just the representation, how we are representing the timestamp over there. You can go with date time, Ma. 7B, you can go with date time. So whenever you want to work with also the time, go with date time. Anything else, Ma? All of you? Which one? Ma, do you mean to say only the time? Try it once, Ma. 68. Time will take HHMMSS, Ma. Time will take hours, minutes, and second. Anything else? Is it clear, Ma? Can I start your activities?